tutors, crypto tutors, crypto tutors. Hey,
It's a way. Making money in my sleep? Making money in my sleep. Boom! Back at it. Crypto tutors on the crypto couch. We have a man, a myth, a legend with us, the Zimbabwean, on the crypto picks. He's going to be talking about how he continues to make millionaires in a Facebook group of 6.7 about 6.7 thousand people and counting. And Tinashe, you know, when we talk a little bit about your background, we would be remiss if we didn't acknowledge that you also have a full-time job editing videos for some of the dopest artists in the game right now. And on the side, you do all this fundamental analysis to help people understand what cryptos to buy and why. That's a lot. Do you sleep? I know you make money in your sleep, but do you sleep?
Take naps.
Okay, everybody likes a nappy poo here and there. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what a full 8-hour sleep schedule is. So I'm stuck to 2-3 hour naps throughout the day, maybe once or twice a day. And, either I'm editing or I'm doing my crypto research that I'm, always happy to share within the group.
Before we dive into, your process and we talk about some of the phenomenal picks that you've chosen over the years that you've been doing this, I just want to level set. The team at Crypto Tutors, we are committed to educating folks so that they can transform their knowledge into wealth. We not only offer e-learning courses and one-on-one tutoring, but edutainment. And this is a part of how we're ensuring that we're closing the wealth gap, especially for people of color and women, marginalized communities at large, but everybody could get it. Everybody could get the knowledge, everybody could get the wisdom. And on the crypto couch, Tinashe, we're humanizing crypto and blockchain by elevating the faces and the voices behind the tech. So today we have you here today to talk about crypto picks. And with that being said, let's take it from the beginning. Tell us a little bit about your journey. Like, how did you start your crypto journey?
Well, before I get into my crypto journey, I just want to come back a little bit to what you're saying about, educating women.
Yeah.
Like a lot of inboxes that I actually get are from women in my group that are like, hey, we just crossed 6 figures, and the media seems to portray as if crypto is only male-centric.
Right.
But yet the inboxes I'm getting are from a lot of women that are actually making, 6 figures plus,
Right.
from the group. And it goes to show who are the candidates that the media is interviewing, because if they were in my group, they'll be seeing that women are just taking as much interest and they're making just as much good money or more than, what the male counterparts are, doing. So, I wanted to highlight that before I go into my journey because I didn't want to forget that.
Yeah,
But,
yeah. And before we talk about what your crypto journey entails, I think that you hit the nail right on the head with perception often being reality. Because even in some of the stats that we looked at, we saw that only 9% of women are investing in Bitcoin versus men. But the truth is that who says? And so I'm happy to hear that, from your perspective, you're seeing a lot of engagement from women who are like, thank you for making me a 6-figure heir. And then I'm sure it's going to be 7 and 8 and so on. No pressure.
Yeah, no, definitely, and today I was looking at the engagement in my group, and although it's 66% male, the other 33% was female, and then 0.03% other. But it goes to show that, we're getting good engagement from, both sides. So, I'm happy, that that kind of engagement is happening, it's supposed to be, 90% male and then 10%, female. So I'm glad that, there's almost that closeness together.
Yeah, and hold up though. I see that the nickname Data, it transcends every single domain that you're in because you're already talking about your Facebook analytic data. The the demographics. So you put in the data in Tinashe Data, and I don't know how to pronounce your last name, so forgive me for that.
Nyatanga, yeah, Tinashe Nyatanga.
What he said.
What he said. Okay, so talk to us. Tell us a little bit about your crypto journey. Where did it start? How did it begin? Zimbabwe to LA? Like, give us the goods.
Well, growing up as a kid, I, loved watching movies, with my parents being a diplomat, I was always traveling with them. So I was like the third born at the time, I was the youngest at the time. So I kind of traveled with them the most, to live in foreign countries while my older siblings were back in Zimbabwe in boarding school. So being the only kid, all I had was like entertainment,
Yep.
watching TV, cartoons and whatnot. And I was like, these things I see in TV, I want to be involved, I want to be part of whatever that creative process is. And as I grew up, I started to learn, Hollywood, okay, that's where they make them. And then I started teaching myself how to edit, some self-taught editor. And what I used to do is I'd watch movies and then I'd rip them and then try and condense them into a 5-minute song. So I'd pick a song and then try edit the key storytelling sequences within that edit.
You're so fascinating. Can I just interrupt you to tell you how fascinating you are? Okay, back to the story.
So that is why I became a music video editor starting out when I moved out to LA. I'd already spent my, because I started teaching myself how to edit when I was 12 years old. So
of course you did. You Africans, man, let me tell you, you guys are such overachievers. Damn. All right, let me stop. Because before I was Haitian, I was African.
Awesome. So before I moved to LA, I graduated college in 2012, May 2012, and I wanted to move out to LA. So I started reaching out to a bunch of directors and producers out here. I think I wrote like over 80 of them. And then 5 got back, and only 2 were like, "Yeah, if you come out to LA, you can intern for us." And I was like, "That's all I needed to hear."
Yep.
I'd send in my work, because I was directing music videos when I was back in Alabama. I Mobile, that's where I went to college, Mobile, Alabama. Go Jags, So I was sending them,
Okay.
my
Still representing. Love to see it.
I was sending them my work, and those 2 producers, directors are like, "Yeah, you got something, so come out and, we'll, see if there's a place for you." And so when I came out, met them, I mean, it was months of emailing back and forth, So one of the directors had seen his music video that he had just directed on MTVU, and so that his name on it. His name is Michael Mahel from Gorilla Hollywood, and I sent him an email. I was like, "Hey man, this is my work," and it was months back and forth before I actually came out to LA, met him, met the other producer, Jeff McLean, who's in the group actually. So
In the group, because they know where the money resides, okay? But we're gonna talk about all of that. We're gonna get there. Sorry. Go ahead. Carry on.
it's exciting to have people that I've worked with or who've opened doors being the group that I have now. And so, yeah, Jeff McLean, he brought me on a lot of sets that I learned a lot on, Calvin Harris, Rihanna, that sort of stuff. And Michael Mahel from Gorilla Hollywood, he brought me, he directed the Kendrick Lamar Don't Kill My Vibe music video. So, he brought me on set for that, got to, see Kendrick and them there. And then Michael Mahel took me as his editor, under his wing as his editor. So I learned a lot from him as an editor. And, a couple of years, 2 years after the first email I sent him, I was editing a music video for Yellow Wolf, which he directed. And, it kind of took me back to when I first emailed him when I was back in Alabama, because it was a Yellow Wolf video that he had directed that I saw. So 2 years later, I was editing a music video for Yellow Wolf that he directed. which now has over 150 million views on YouTube. So it kind of.
I love how casually you dropped that. You were like, yeah, you know, it's something like pushing 200 million, but no big deal or anything like that. So I feel like we need to bring you back and talk about the music editing and the video editing that you do, because I think that your work, you know, this is kind of the irony of being an editor. Your work and the artists that you've worked with are extremely popular, and you know, these are videos that many of us have seen and love and didn't even know that you were behind it. But what's interesting is that how the hell does this translate to becoming a fundamental analysis guru on the crypto pick front? I gotta understand, how did you make that leap? Talk to us. Break it down. Break it all the way down.
Well, you know, one of the things came down to, you know, I wanted to like make, you know, more money on the side, you know, and with money is like, okay, I was trying to look, am I going to invest in gold? Am I going to invest in this? And then
I can invest in gold. Damn it, why can't I be a daughter of a diplomat? I want to. Should I invest in gold or silver or maybe this crypto thing? Okay, I digress. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I thought the returns in gold, you know, and stuff weren't really high. And I'm kind of a guy that's like, you know, if I'm gonna spend $1, I'll at least make $10 from it or $100.
Can we write that down in the comments? Sorry, Tinashe, I just have to make sure that the audience is paying attention because you're giving them the game. I need you. Whoever's watching this right now, write that in the comments. If I'm gonna invest if I'm going to invest $1, I want 10 back, 10x. But really, what they don't know, and we're gonna unpack, is how if they follow you and listen to you and do their own research themselves, but ultimately with what you're saying as the basis, they can turn that dollar to 100x. Boom! Best Buy certified.
Exactly. So like that's like if you see like the picks that I pick in my group, you know, they're normally like, you know, if you spend, you know, $100 or, you know, $50, you're getting a certain amount of tokens. And, you know, they tend to have the chance to exponentially grow, you know, because like in real life, you know, I might love ace bottles, but when it comes to spending money, that's the only thing that I'll throw a lot of money into. You know?
You're very, very particular with what you choose to waste your money on. I mean, and you know, I feel like, again, in the comments, make sure that you're not spending money on depreciating anything. Can you say depreciating assets? Because I kind of feel like if it depreciates, then it's not an asset. But we can get back to that later.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So I came across Bitcoin, and Bitcoin was like 300 at the time. And I'm like, man, if I'm gonna spend $300 for one Bitcoin, it has to make me even more money.
Right.
And so I found that there were exchanges. The first exchange that I found at the time was Poloniex. It's no longer in America because it got bought up by another company. So, you know, it's only for you.
But wait, Tinashe, hold up. Don't just gloss over the fact that, because Bitcoin right now is at like 55,000, and it was at its peak 60,000 a couple of days ago. This is extremely important, right? Because you first got into crypto when Bitcoin was at about $300. So what is this, like
2013, around the 2013. Yeah.
Okay. So you've been in the game for damn near 10 years now.
Oh yeah. That's why like I get pretty confident with certain picks, just because of, you know, the ups and downs I've been through, riding the Bitcoin wave and altcoin wave, the alternative coins. I was there before Ethereum was ever there. You know, I was there when I was buying Ethereum for 80 cents and then selling all of it at $13 because I thought I'd come on the come up, you know.
Tinashe, they don't understand. So, okay. So if you're watching the Crypto Couch right now, I'm gonna need you to give us our props, because we're bringing folks like Tinashe. These are people that have been in the game, that have you know, the knowledge, the wisdom for the past almost 10 years, right? And this is really important because there's so much hype in crypto right now. Everybody swears that they're a crypto guru. You have so many you know, people talking about them, they're creating NFTs and doing this and that. And the reality is that there's so many false prophets, which is not what we're bringing at and on the Crypto Couch. So again, not to interrupt your story, but I just wanted to call that out, that you've been doing this and you've got the receipts, as the kids say.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. And so on Polyonyx, I found out that you could convert Bitcoin into different cryptocurrencies, altcoins. So I was like, oh man, if I have $100 worth of Bitcoin, and let's say at the time, XRP was, well, I don't want to mention XRP because I don't like.
Let's not go there. We don't talk about coins that are no longer delisted on exchanges.
NAV coin, let's say NAV coin was, a tenth of a penny. And if I put $100, it would give me 100,000 NAV coin. And then if I just waited for it to hit 10 cents, that'd be like $10,000, So I was like, okay, let me start doing this. So I started just collecting a bunch of, cheaper crypto. And at the same time, I was learning about, the teams behind them, what differentiates each crypto, the tokenomics, reading their white papers, roadmaps, understanding what those were. And that's, what I just started doing. So I was amassing all these cheaper crypto by buying Bitcoin as my entry method into the cryptocurrency world. And next thing, two years later, about 2016, 2-3 years later, that's when things started booming. And this was before I even started a group ever, but I've been posting on my, personal Facebook page, hey guys, you want to get into Bitcoin? And this was like, where I was jumping between 300 to 700, back to 200.
Tinashe, we're gonna need to take screenshots of those posts and make them NFTs, and we could talk about the splits offline. But I'm gonna put that bug in your ear.
Okay, hey, the screenshots are in the group, and I was even telling people, hey, 2016, I wrote, this is the last time we'll ever see Bitcoin below $1,000. And a year later, it shot up, to 3,000, then 20,000. But before then, in 2016, when it started making crazy money for me, that's when I started making a major push, trying to get people into it, because I use myself as a guinea pig. For anything, before I go to other people, I'll do extreme stress tests on myself before I start pushing it. So like, man, in 2016, I was like making so much money just from crypto. I kind of lost my mind because I was like spending 30,000 in like 3 months, just blowing it. Oh,
damn it! Why didn't I know you then? I love expensive gifts. I love expensive trips. I'm expensive. These gold chains don't buy themselves.
I was like flying friends to Vegas. I was like, from Alabama, Mississippi. Hey, let's go to Vegas. People I don't even. Hey, let's go party in Vegas. Vegas was like, I was booking a Tesla to go to Vegas, getting driven there, there and back. And then I had to, I looked at my bank statement and I was like, whoa, I where did the 30K go? It created memories, fun memories and stuff. But, that's when I was like, yo, this is something serious right here, man. This could be life-changing. And I really need to, start educating people. I need to calm down and grow the wealth for myself. And at the same time, start sharing the message, and my best friend, Andy Chavez, you might see him in the group, it took some time convincing him, so he's like, what, I'm gonna start with $50. This was like in the summer of 2016. And then
best $50 he ever invested.
Yeah, because that $50, it was a NAV coin. That became $10,000 like summer-ish, 2017. And then we took that 10K and flipped it into 40K by December 2018.
This is what you call friends with benefits. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Okay? Just putting that out there. Take notes. Friends with benefits. If you don't have a friend like that that's gonna help you flip 5 to 40, then you don't have a friend.
$50 to 40K.
Tinashe, can I please be your friend?
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm not just talking about friends on Facebook, right? Because Tinashe has the most lit Facebook group ever. I think I might have mentioned that at the beginning of the conversation. Blockchain and cryptocurrency. But sorry, carry on.
Yeah, no, and the first group that I made got to like 13,000 people. It's still there, but I don't post in it anymore because it kind of got out of control with all the people, in there, and became too spammy, and I had mods in that group. So when I created this new group, I took what I learned from the old group. So in order to come into this new group, you got to know somebody who's already in the group.
You got to know somebody who knows somebody.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about. That's how we keep the group. That's how we regulate, right? Because the truth is that, as we look through the experience of being in your group, I would say that calling it a group doesn't do it justice. It's truly a community. And, as we were preparing for this conversation and just kind of looking through just the commentary, and people are so passionate, and there's so much interaction and so many GIFs. I mean, look, there's at least 10 GIFs in there right now with people expressing their fears, their anticipation, their excitement, their enthusiasm. And it's just so incredible to see how this virtual environment has become almost extended family to a lot of the people that are in there and that have been rocking with you for the years that you've been doing this. Because if I'm not mistaken, from a success, you talked a bit about your best friend turning the $50 to 40,000, but group members have turned 100 to 1,000. And I think the first time I heard 100x was within the within your group. So it's awesome.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I have people that are writing me, hey, even if they've made their first 1,000, that's appreciative. I had somebody write me today, and they were like, yeah, man, I just made my first $1,000 profit. I know it's only the beginning, but I'm just excited. I want to let you know that. And then I'll have people that have made 5 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures.
Hold on. Wait. Don't just gloss over the fact that your group is turning mofos into millionaires. Did you hear that? He just said it real casual. It's so funny because you're so chill and easygoing, and my energy's on 100,000 million. So it's like, this like kind of like yin and yang thing we have going on. But the truth is, when you're able to, through the extensive research and analysis, again, they call you data for a reason. To see how the work that you've done, you talked about not sleeping, you talked about taking naps, you talked about really, reading white papers and understanding tokenomics as the basis upon which you or as a part of the basis upon which you're evaluating your crypto picks. This is not something that you just started doing. This is not something that, a person you've just become. Like, you've been in the game for so long, and to see how your meteoric rise, right? Like, over time, kindness, right? And the commitment to the community is just is awesome. So they would say, like, here go your flowers. I don't know if you take flowers or if you take, APs, those Audemars, but I don't have that just yet.
It's always great when like a group member sends me one of these,
Oh, okay. So you're getting Ace of Spades? Like, they're just sending you Ace of Spades right quick?
They know that, Ace of Spades is, my favorite champagne. So, they'd be hitting me up. They'd be like, hey, where did you send you a bottle? So
all I have to say is, we might have to get you to become a crypto tutor because and we can charge $10,000 an hour for your time. We'll talk about that offline. You see how I'm recruiting him? Write in the comments if you want Tinashe to become a crypto tutor.
Yeah, I can help y'all be able to, be getting bottles like this.
Oh snap!
You got like 4 bottles of Ace of Spades right now. Okay, I see you. And the best part about it is you didn't buy them.
Oh yeah, it's awesome that people, show that appreciation, like I said, I don't charge people in my group, an actor once told me, that, when you come up with other people, it's not going to be lonely at the top, so that has always stuck with me that, as long as, if I can, bring others with me, it's, we're going to have a good time, all going to have fun and, write our own stories, our own journeys, and the fact that in this group I can see people's lives transforming, beats any kind of monetary compensation that anyone can give you, because this is, changing their lives, their children. I get so many messages like, my children are going to be good, they're going to be fit, a group member messaged me. He had been fired from his job because he wanted to be there for his child's birth. And the job was like, nah, you need to come to work. But he was like, nah, I'm gonna go be with my new baby. And he was like, yeah, I cashed out my 401k, put it into your picks, and it turned into, $250,000.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because a lot of people hit me up like that. And then they'll be like, yeah, we just made a lot of money, we're going to pay back the interest that we got, the penalty fee and all that, but we just made so much money that we would have just been there in the last. I'm like, hey, that was your risk, man. I'm not out here telling people.
And also, Tinashe, we are not financial advisors. We are merely educators. We're solely educators. So, Tinashe, you talked about as far as the analysis in evaluating your crypto picks and the tokenomics, but in relation to the white papers, right? What is it that stands out to you as being something worth investigating, something worth investing in?
I tend to look at what the problem is that they're trying to solve. So that's a big play for me. And then as I read more, I try and understand, compared to where we are now in society and where we could be in society in the future. So I try and project where we're going to be in the future, and if that is something that this project, can achieve. I also look at the team that's involved. I try and understand as best as I can the tokenomics. And then I also look at their roadmap to try and see their targets for the next however quarters their roadmap expands to. So that's what I, tend to look at the most. Like what does society, what's the problem society has now, or what situation do we have now that this blockchain company or crypto can help facilitate to make our lives better?
That's genius. And it makes so much sense, because the funny thing is when people look at evaluate cryptos based on the technical analysis, from the technical analysis side, which I've, done myself, the challenge is that there's not enough historical data to make, estimated guesses on around where things are going to go. So a key takeaway, folks, is to focus on the fundamentals and identifying, what value they're bringing to the marketplace, what problems they're solving for, what the roadmap looks like, and the utility associated with the coin are all great considerations when it comes to determining a strong pick. Now, honestly, you have like 70 coins right now that you've highlighted in the group. You've done all of this analysis. I gotta ask, what's your favorite?
It's definitely and always will be Fantom.
Fantom. Is that FTX? No, not FTM. Fantom.
Yeah. I remember when I was telling people in the group when it was like below a penny, it was like 0.6 of a penny. And I was like, hey guys, you gotta research this one,
When he says research, that's his way of saying buy as much as you can. 100 billion of less than a penny, 100 billion.
It was about 0.6 of a penny. So like, yeah, 0.6 of a penny. And if someone had put $600 into it, that would have given them 100,000 Fantom tokens if someone had put $600 into it. And so, it went up to like 5 cents, and then down to like a penny again. Oh. And then people were like, hey man,
Cause I'm not gonna lie, I pulled up into FTM. I got some FTM myself, and since I've been in the trade, it's been going down. But I've been here before, so I'm FTM long.
Yeah, see, my picks are not like next day money. My picks are what Apple has done over years. I want something that's going to always continue appreciating, not, something that's going to go straight up and then straight down. It came down to a penny from, and people that had been buying it, at like 5 cents. They're like, yeah, what's going on, man? I'm like, hey, calm down. That's why I'm so chill, like people that I edit for, they could be getting stressed out and I'm just there cutting away. And they're like, the building could be on fire and you're just going to be like, hey, give me a minute to finish this. That's how.
Why though? Okay, before we wrap up, for real, tell me, like, how do you remain so zen? I mean, that's such an admirable quality that, like, tell me your secret.
All right, so I was in Germany in a place called Schwarzwald. And then there was this guy who was selling French fries on the side of the road and different food. So I ordered my food and he was taking a long time to give me my food, but he was giving other people food that were like, because he was cooking my French fries and the other things, were easier. And then like after like 5 minutes, I was like 11 years old at the time. And then I was like, hey man, I paid you, I haven't got my food yet, but other people are getting their stuff. And then he's like, don't worry, man, I got you, just be calm, man. If you're not cool and calm and you have a beautiful woman, she'll be gone before you know it. So ever since then, I was like, you know what? Maybe this could, transpire into other aspects of my life, not just.
You're such a genius. Let's just stop right there. I mean, honestly, like, this is not your first time on this earth, and you are an old soul, and I love to see good things happen to great people. Great things happen to great people. You're a great person, and you're bringing so many people along your journey. And again, we're super happy to have had you on the Crypto Couch. We're thankful that you've done and continue to do the work that you do. Anything that you say, I'm going to follow. Just kidding, guys. Always do your own homework. But I think that if nothing else, you could see that he knows what he's talking about. So, crypto picks, okay? Crypto picks. That's what this is about. The topic is crypto picks.
Thank you for having me. And, just to finish the Fantom story, when it was a penny, I made a post that when it hits 50 cents, people are going to be crying, so yeah, it was like at a penny for from September up until January this year when it started moving up, it hit 10 cents, it hit 20 cents, and then it went all the way to 80 cents, now it's kind of dipping a bit. But to me, this is not financial advice. It's just what I'm seeing. This is like buying Apple before it went public.
Before we go, talk to us a little bit about what is tokenomics, because you mentioned it earlier in relation to as a part of your analysis to determine good crypto picks. And so let's just take a little bit of time to kind of break it down to folks who are not familiar with that term.
So it's like token, economics, the economics of the token. So it's pretty much telling you, how the distribution of the tokens are going to be, how many are set aside for public sale or for the public, some for partnerships, some for the team. It's pretty much talking about that model and, how they're going to use the tokens over the course of time.
So would you say that an example of tokenomics would be, for instance, with Bitcoin, there are only 21 million units of Bitcoin.
Yeah, 21 million tokens. That there will ever be 21 million. Yeah.
Right. So is that an example? And obviously some of the utility associated with Bitcoin, like the peer-to-peer payments and so forth, is that considered an example of like how tokenomics works?
Well, tokenomics is mostly the distribution of the tokens. How they're distributed, So let's say, we have a company, we're going to, with 100 coins, we can say we're going to keep 20% for ourselves and then 80% to sell to the public, and then we can say that our tokens we're going to release, for ourselves, so we don't dump on the market, we'll release maybe 1% of the tokens to ourselves every year. That way people are, that's a real basic, example that trying to get too complicated before I go on for another 4 hours.
You're such a, it's so funny because like Moetti, our other co-founder at Crypto Tutors, he is, he's a PhD, has a PhD in statistics. I say that to say he's also super professorial. You know what I mean by that? Like he's always like breaking things down and like kind of like taking you to the classroom and being like, okay, that's why he's the head of education and he's a fellow Zimbabwean. So I feel like I understand how you all operate. Thank you for keeping it simple, because truth be told, this entire program and the way that we're approaching education is really striving to simplify crypto and blockchain. I think that explanation did exactly that. So thank you for the umpteenth time for just doing what you've done. We got to make sure that we have a security detail so that nothing happens to you, because we need you to become millionaires and billionaires. I bet you'll be one of the first people on Facebook to create a billionaire.
I hope so. That's my goal. Make one billionaire and then make multiple more.
That's why the type of benefits in our friendship, those are the types of benefits I'm looking for in our friendship. So thank you for being awesome.
Definitely. Thank you for having me.
Cool.
Want to learn more? Visit cryptotutors.com.